What up, YouTube? We're doing some mountain bike testing, baby.
I'm so excited for this video because it was birthed from a place of anger. I am very angry.
Dude, are you mad at Courtney?
No, I'm mad at the chat. I was at Leadville last weekend doing the SAG for Chase. We have a video either out or coming out about what happened with that race. But while I was sitting there at the SAG, I was watching the live stream of the race, and I was completely jaw dropped that there was a large amount of comments that were effectively telling Courtney that she was stupid for riding like this on her fork.
I don't see in what world is that a stupid idea if you know how to do it.
I literally was sitting there and I was so mad that I'm making this whole video because I was angry about it. First off, she freaking won the race and broke the record by 11 minutes. And she didn't just beat a nobody,
It's Leadville.
It was
Bro, that race has been going on forever. That record is hard to beat.
It was Annika, right?
Annika Langvad.
Annika Langvad held that record. I'm pretty sure she was world champion at one point. I don't know. Both of these people are mountain bike world champions.
Yeah.
So for you to get in the comments and tell Courtney she's stupid for doing that blew my mind. I saw a lot of people say that they were disappointed that nobody could help her have better aero data. And then I was thinking to myself, what do you mean? Specialized released a video titled Aero Positions for the Leadville 100 7 years ago, which I'm gonna link in the description, where they tested these 4 positions.
There is a position that could be more aero, right?
Yeah, but I'm gonna explain why it's not.
No, this is important.
This specialized video tested normal riding position, riding like this, which is not feasible. It's also not fast.
That's like descending Columbine position. Like aero, but you need your brakes and bars.
And then they tested on the fork.
Yeah.
And then they tested up here.
Up there straight arm or up there tuck?
Total tuck.
Okay.
I'm gonna ignore this one because this is stupid.
That's a very
descending.
Yeah, descending.
Yeah.
Only.
And it was also slow.
Or maybe like not technical, but real bumpy, chunky single track where you're still going fast.
I honestly feel like this is the same. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So Specialized used their wind tunnel. We're gonna do the ride for fun, but the data exists. So like you can argue in the comments with me, but Specialized already made this data and they did it in a science way, so you can't argue. Specialized found that going from this position to this position was 21 minutes faster over the Leadville 100 course. They used Howard Gratz's winning time from whatever year that was.
Gotcha. So pretty fast.
It was fast.
I would assume he did like a 6.5 hour
Leadville. It was his winning time, so that was the time they based it off of.
Real fast.
Well, it's a 5-minute video. I'm gonna link it below. If you wanna see what they did, watch it. Okay. And then they also did this. This was 23 minutes faster.
So tiny bit faster.
Tiny bit faster, especially because again, we are not holding this position for the whole race.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And I'm gonna explain why the fork position is optimal in a second. But before we get into this, if you guys like content like this, make sure you subscribe. The best way to support the channel is to buy stuff from us. Order, if we have it in stock, just order it on our website or hit us up in the emails. We can build you a BC40. It just won Leadville. It actually there's 4 BC40s in both top 10 Leadville. Pretty good bike.
Dang, that must be a good bike.
It's a good bike.
Do you think it's the most aero mountain bike?
I think it might have been, yeah. Because it was it was the flat bar bike that won.
The women's race.
Yeah. Okay, with the ad out of the way, this is now disclaimer mode. Listen to me. I have practiced riding on my fork for years. If you, I understand the can of worms that I am about to open up here, and that's why we're doing a disclaimer. Whenever you ride on your fork, it is effectively the same position as being in an aero bar.
Just with straight arms versus aero bar arms.
Yes, it's the same thing. You have about the same amount of control, in my opinion. I truly believe that. And so the same rules apply. First off, never try this for the first time in a race. I practice this on my daily rides. If I'm doing a long flat pavement stretch, I'll get into the Aero tuck. I'm sure if you haven't tried it before after watching this video, you'll probably try it. The key is that it is for relatively flat, smooth sections. This is not for climbing, descending,
turning,
or turning.
I think on like a sweeping road turn is chill.
Sweeping road turns are for people who have practiced it. I can do sweeping road turns like this fairly easily.
Yeah. I think regardless, like whether you're doing the fork position or holding on to right next to the stem or forearms, like all that, you need to practice all of this.
This is the same amount of danger as this.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
And so if you are in a race and you want to do this position, there are two rules. You are by yourself or you are in the front. If you are behind me and I see you doing this in a race, I will fucking yell at you. Do not do it. Do not do it.
You don't have any brake control.
You have no control. If you are in front in a straight section of road, it is the optimal position, or by yourself. That is it. Final. I do not want to hear anybody argue with me on this. That's it. Okay. We spent, me and Austin, shout out to Austin for helping with this, and Trey spent a long time Google searching the rules. So
like UCI and USA Cycling.
I swear that in the back of my brain, I read a Pink Bike article about the UCI banning this position. Well, we could not find a single rule that...
We did find rules that said it said something about a position on a bike, which basically means your feet have to be on the pedals, your butt has to be on the seat, and your hands have to be on the handlebars. But that
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, say you're descending on a mountain bike and you put your seat post down and you're standing up, therefore your butt is not on the saddle, DQ'd.
We searched through both rule books and there's no mention of putting your hands on the fork.
Nope.
And I actually, even though we couldn't find the rule, I think it's banned. I swear it's banned. If you guys can find the rule.
There could have just been a race that banned it and maybe they posted that article. I don't know.
Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that Lifetime Grand Prix races and most of the mountain biking in the US is not USA Cycling. USA Cycling is not popular. And
bro, gravel and mountain biking, no rules.
No rules.
Do whatever you want. Just put a helmet on.
So nothing about what Kate did or what I do in every race that I enter is illegal. If it was illegal, I would not do it, but I'd read the rules of the races before I enter. So if you're UCI or USA Cycling, I have a feeling it's illegal and you should ask somebody, send an email. But for most races that everybody who watches our channel does, it is not illegal to do this. And
something tells me next year Leadville's gonna come out and be like, you cannot ride with your hands on the fork.
Yeah, so that leads me to my next point. I think hands on the fork is roughly about the same speed as like the drop bar.
It's probably faster than like sitting on the hoods or the drops.
If you're on the hoods with your elbows bent.
Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about is I think the aerodynamics of any of these positions is very dependent on how tall the rider is.
That's fair.
Because when Jesse, who's 5'11", is on his fork stanchions, is twice as low as Courtney, who's like 5 foot nothing.
My bar
on her fork stanchions.
My saddle drop is.
See, we got like, I don't know, 8 inches of saddle to stanchions, where Courtney's saddle is probably like almost in line with her stanchions. I think it's very dependent, and that probably also takes into account the control. Like the more dropped you are, probably the less control you have. So like Courtney probably was fully in control because she's like sitting pretty upright almost.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
The other thing I wanted to talk about with this is that with these big 35 stanchion forks, I mean, I have full wrap around.
Was Kate on 32s or 35?
No, 35. I think she was riding 120.
Yeah.
Or maybe she's 32. I don't know. I have to double check. But do you see, I have like full grip on this thing.
Yeah, you got a lot to hold on to.
This is the same as an Aero bar. It's actually wider than what my Aero bar would be if I had Aero bars on this bike. We're gonna test this position. This is technically faster.
I think putting even your forearms would be slightly more fast. But
this is not possible.
Impossibly
this is not,
hard to
we're
hold
not even
for
going to acknowledge
more than a minute.
This is completely stupid.
Unless you have aero bars, which there are races that allow aero bars, but that's a different story.
Leadville doesn't allow aero bars. A lot of the races I do allow aero bars. So you could run an aero bar. If you're doing this, just get an aero bar. Like this is completely dumb. This is dumb. The reason why the fork position is superior, I can hold this position indefinitely. It does not put extra stress on any of my body muscles. It's the same amount of force as holding the bar for me. Putting my body here with a bent elbow is a forearm and core workout. And I'm not saying triceps. I'm not saying that you can't do that. I can easily ride like that. But over the course of a 100-mile race, this is a more fatiguing position by a lot versus this. Does that make sense to you, Trey?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So in my opinion, the fork position is the most sustainable, and even though it's not the fastest position, it's the best compromise.
It's faster if you can do it more often.
That's what I'm saying. I can hold the fork forever. In Matahe, I know I kind of glossed over this, but in Matahe, I rode on my fork behind Tinker Juarez for 8 miles.
You just broke your own rule. You can't be on your fork behind people.
No, he was a half mile up the road.
Oh, you were like behind, way behind.
Yeah,
okay.
So, and I'm just gonna restate the story. Tinker was trying to drop me.
Successful.
No, it was not successful. And we had 8 miles of gravel. And every time I would catch up to him, he would do a dig and try to attack again. I ended up just being like, okay, he doesn't want me to catch him. So I just floated behind him. I rode at 200 watts on my fork while he was like trying to motor away from me, and I was just gliding.
Did you know that's like a road racing or gravel, any pack racing tactic is just letting someone dangle out in the front?
I was thinking.
Yeah.
And then whenever we hit the trail, guess what? I closed the gap and immediately was right behind him again, even though he burned a ton of energy. That's like, there's so many great uses of this position. And even a race like Matahe, I was able to use riding on my fork to my advantage. And so again, practice. I'm not saying don't do this. I'm saying be smart and practice this. This is not a don't try this at home. This is a try this at home before you go ride with your buddies at the race.
Try this at home on a safe, straight backcountry road where there aren't any cars.
Yeah, but anyway, people in the comments are really stupid. I'm here to tell you that the whole point of this video is anybody who was commenting that Kate Courtney was dumb needs to look in a mirror, because she won the race.
Destroyed the record.
She's a world champion. What kind of person do you have to be to just think that you're so much better than somebody who just broke a record, a 10-year-old record, and also is a world champion? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Bro, people's egos get hurt and then they have to call people dumb.
I think that's what it is. Self-esteem is really low, and if you're one of these people, shout out in the comments, man. Like, let me know what you think.
Should we talk about the test real quick?
Yeah.
We're doing the same way back there, the gravel road. This is our normal gravel tire testing. Out is gradually uphill for roughly 7-ish minutes. Coming back is gradually downhill for 6 minutes. And Jesse's gonna do technically 2 runs because it's an out and then a back in each position.
I'm gonna start with this one because it's the hardest.
Yeah, before you get tired.
Yeah. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about is there is a point in this course that I do not believe is navigable in both of these positions.
You have to be on your grips and brakes. It's about a 5-second uphill, 5-second downhill, and then at the bottom of the downhill is a turn. So all together, it's probably going to be 15 seconds out of whatever position.
This is going to be disadvantaged from the beginning. So me having to switch should be fine. Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
We're doing real world testing.
It would be what I would do in a race.
Yeah, real world.
So we're gonna hit it, and again, you don't even need to watch the rest of this video if you want. Like, Specialized already did this whole video 8 years ago. This data has been out for 8 years.
As we always say, this is just for fun. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
right, I'm at the top of this little climb that we were talking about where Jesse's gonna have to come out of position. As you can see on the gradual downhill with a little turn, the uphill has a little turn in it too. Looks like he's able to hold the fork position. See if he can do it on the downhill. It's pretty gradual. Yeah, no problem. So he shouldn't have to come out of position going this way, but this direction, that turn's a little sharper, so he might have to come out just going around that turn. Your biggest discrepancy between the lowest and the highest was 3 watts. Nailed it. That's not much of a discrepancy.
The 0 discrepancy.
Yeah.
Yo.
Tell us about your day, Kate Courtney.
This is a video, I guess we're defending her honor.
This is a video dedicated to Kate Courtney.
It kind of is. I was reading Reddit and I noticed that some people were commenting on a post about Kate Courtney, and they were saying that I invented this position.
I thought that was the funniest thing. When you told me that, I was like, what
I sent
in the
Trey
world?
the screenshot.
When Jesse told me it, I laughed in his face.
Yeah,
I know.
and
It's so funny.
like whoever you are who wrote that, thank you. Like I appreciate you. I'm not making fun of you at all. I wanted to say this, like I did not invent this. This has been around for over 10 years.
We know most of you in the comments are like, Jesse Smith invented holding onto your fork while riding a bike.
I appreciate y'all trying to give me credit for that, but it wasn't me. What we were really talking about, and this was your idea, I'm kind of one of the only people making like endurance mountain bike racing content, and so it makes sense that I talk about it more than anybody else.
Yeah. When did NUE series start declining?
It's probably been declining for the last maybe 10 years, but
and like no one's really been making YouTube videos about those races.
Yeah, they used to be a lot bigger. I mean, like Dylan got to start doing it, right? Drew's done a bunch of, I've been doing them for about 10 years and it's definitely less than it was. I think the last 2 years, it's starting to bump back up a little bit. So I'm excited about that, which is why I keep making so many videos about it because I want more people to do it.
Yeah, but nobody's talking about these endurance mountain bike races.
No.
I would assume in your NUE races, I haven't done one since the very first NUE race last year. Other people are doing this position in the race.
No.
Really?
It's just me, and I use it to my advantage all the time.
Why don't
I did it
people?
At Linton, and I was the only person I
Yeah,
saw. People
so
were like, whoa, what are you doing?
I use it
What
all
the
the
heck?
time in racing, Trey. Whenever we're in a bunch pack, it doesn't matter. There was a moment in Mohican this year where I was with a guy, I gapped him on a downhill, and then we went into a gravel road, and I knew specifically that he wasn't gonna put his hands on his fork, and so I put my hands on my fork and just dropped him. That was how I dropped him, because I knew he wasn't gonna do the same position as me.
I didn't know that other people were not doing it.
No,
That's kind of crazy.
They're not, or they're doing it while they're alone, and I don't see them. But I've never seen somebody else do it. Like I said, I think we're probably gonna see more of that after Kate Courtney.
Chase, just so you know, my theory is that since Kate Courtney publicized it, every race is going to ban the position.
I think that there's a chance that could happen. Yeah. Like we said in the beginning of this video, if you like crash and try to blame us, we are not endorsing you trying this at home. If you try it at home, we explained how to do it safely. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you wreck your bike, you can't blame us. It's your own damn fault.
But the other thing we were talking, I didn't realize because I don't listen to the podcast. Why do you think Dylan and the Bonk Bros thought it was a bad idea too? What do you think?
Just safety.
Okay, and I think that's fair.
I think the main concern is, just like when the UCI banned puppy paws and the super tuck, is not because the pros can't do it safely. It's because the amateurs see the pros do it, try it, mid Cat 5 crit, and cause a huge crash.
Yeah.
And so say amateur saw Kate Courtney do it while they're climbing Columbine, and Kate Courtney's coming down or something, and then they're like, whoa, that position looks really fast. And then they're coming down Columbine, they're like, I'm gonna try it mid Columbine descent and just crash everyone out. I could see that being the reason to ban it.
My opinion, and again, I have a lot of experience with both of these positions, I think it's about as safe as riding in a time trial bike. I think it's completely fair to say you wouldn't just ride a time trial bike without practicing.
No.
I would not recommend riding on the fork without practicing, and I think it is about the same exact amount of danger, personally.
You don't have brakes.
Either way.
No, I'm saying like in TT bars and down there, you don't have brakes.
Yeah, either way, they're
you
the same.
have a lot less control than if you were holding onto the handlebar.
I think it's exactly the same amount of control.
Yeah.
I think you can steer the bike with the fork still. Before we reveal the data, I wanted to reiterate the point that I made earlier. The puppy pause position was excruciatingly hard for me. I did that one first on purpose. I wanted to give you a time of how long it took before my arm pump started. It was exactly a minute and 47 seconds.
That's the position I used when I did Leadville. I
You
wrapped my bars and I held on. On the descents, I held on, so I had a little more control. And then on flatter sections, I put my forearms on the bar. That hurt.
That hurts
more,
so bad, dude.
But also, I was like, whatever, it's gonna hurt. I just need to try to go as fast as I can.
Brutal.
This position didn't hurt as much as putting my forearms on it, but neither one was comfortable, I would say.
So yeah. For some reason, and I have a theory on this, and I think it's because I'm better at it. Trey was giving me compliment about my wattages. The data, I was like well within 300
300 or 303 was all your runs.
Consistent runs.
When Jesse first started doing these videos, he'd be like 269, 314, 287. And I was like, bro, you can't use this data.
I figured out how to do it. So one thing that we are outliers with against the specialized data is that I was significantly faster riding my fork.
I think it has something to do with practice.
I do too. That's what I was trying to say. So
because the guy in the wind tunnel probably didn't have to hold the super because in the video he is like down real low and he didn't have to hold very long and not pedaling.
Yeah, so, I rode like 2 miles. I was able to ride down the hill in both positions.
Yeah.
And the way I did that was not braking, but I would basically
slow down.
I would just stop pedaling and coast, and then I would be able to make the turn no problem. I was able to navigate those. This is exactly what I expected, and that's why I was so upset with the live chat at Leadville, because it was just insane to me that people were saying it wasn't faster. People were saying that they were disappointed that she didn't have better Aero data, and I was so mad. You were racing, you didn't get to watch the live chat. But look, dude, it's 20 seconds faster.
Yeah.
Over 2 miles.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a lot of time you're saving by being Aero.
Look at the downhill.
A lot of time saved.
What was your Race King times? Were they 7 something?
On the out, they were like 7:45.
Okay.
So 25 seconds saved on a gravel bike with 32 mil bars.
I wanted to also comment on this in that I think if I were to sign up for Leadville today, I would not do a drop bar because I race mountain bikes and I'm a lot more. I think this is why Courtney didn't do a drop bar either. I would actually do exactly what we did today and do my
she
Aero.
also planned her position and knew no one else was going to do that.
Yeah, I do think that the drop bar is faster. We're not going to do that.
This is what I would say. The drop bar is slower when you're in the position of this versus the drop bars.
Oh, yeah, no.
But you're in the drop bars so much. You can hold the drop bars way longer than you could this just because of the course conditions. Like when you're going through a bumpy section, you would stay tucked on your drop bars where you would have to get out of this position and hold onto that.
That's what I was trying to say. I think for the course, the drop bars are actually the optimal thing, unless you are like Courtney or somebody who rides mountain bikes more often like me. I'm just more comfortable in this mountain bike position. And if I'm riding the road, there's so many just flat roads out there.
There's a lot of flat
sections.
sections.
It's just flat road. I'm not trying to descend freaking Columbine with my hands on my fork. That's not what we're doing. We're riding on the road in between the climbs and the downhills. And unless you're not comfortable, if you're a pro racer, if you're a paid athlete, you are wrong.
Practicing.
You are wrong to not do this. And that is just the facts. Again, we can go back to Specialized. Specialized proved this 8 years ago. What do you think, Chase?
So I rode on the crown of the fork in Lutsen, and that was like one of my first times doing that. I didn't practice as much as I should have, so don't be me. But it's noticeably faster, and like I've found that I can go a lot faster while using a lot less watts. Anytime like I would get to a bumpier section of gravel, I would just put my hands on my bars because I don't want to wreck other people out. Anytime that I would end up in a group of people, I wouldn't be on the crown because again, this general safety, like I felt comfortable, but if someone swerved over at me, I feel like I wouldn't have had as much control to save my life.
Yeah, so you were using it on like pavement stretches.
Pavement and gravel only.
The funny part about Lutzen is you can use aero bars, and that is the fastest position on a mountain bike.
Chase Wark was the only person there I saw with aero bars.
And he won.
He won.
Like,
Should have
but
put
I
on
should have
aero
brought my
bars.
aero bars, but
Yeah.
I didn't know. That's like going back to that race, I probably would just do the aero bars.
I wish every race that isn't triathlon would ban aero bars.
And if the position
I
we're
don't
talking
like
about
them.
in this video is banned, that's fine with me. I'm just telling you it's not right now. So
Yeah.
like there's no reason that people shouldn't be doing this.
So start practicing and use it before it gets banned.
I don't think it'll ever get banned in every race. I think that the NUE races, like they're not going to ban.
They're never
not
gonna
gonna
care.
ban this position.
No.
They're not.
What's up? So it's a day later and I'm interrupting this video because Flex Fit by John, check him out. He does a lot of awesome tire testing and I talk to him a lot. He actually took my data from this ride and plugged it into his calculator or I don't know exactly what calculation he's using, but we now have some data. So he split this out. I just sent him the lap times on the uphill segment, which is it's the same segment, but one is a gradual climb and one is a gradual downhill. On the uphill, putting my hands on the crown of the fork actually saved 29 watts according to John's data, and that's at 18.5 miles per hour. The pause runs saved 6 watts, and like I said, I think that has to do with just me being bad at it. On the downhill segment, the crown position saved 44 watts, and that's at 24 miles an hour. The pause saved 7. There is some numbers here. There's CDA number for the crown is 0.381 and the grips is 0.470. On the downhill, it's 0.406 for the crown and 0.467 for the grips. I'm not really sure what this means, but I'm hopeful that you guys like this science stuff because everybody says that we're not good at it. So I asked somebody who is doing a little bit better job than us. Thank you to John. Please give him a follow. I'm sure, I think we have a lot of overlap on our audiences, so you probably know who he is, but check him out. He has an awesome Instagram, Patreon that he does a ton of awesome testing with. So thank you to John for checking out the data. I really appreciate it, man.
And
I could
so-
see all of the lifetime races banning it.
I actually don't think so.
I do.
I think it has
It's
to be
like
called
too
problem
big
first.
and there's too many amateurs to not
think
put
they-
safety first, I
I think they
guess.
have to see the amateurs trying it first.
Can you run a aero bar in the amateur race at Leadville?
No.
Okay.
Is there any?
Well,
I don't think there's any
You can at Unbound. If you're an amateur, you can run an aero bar.
Can you still? I don't think
Yeah.
you can.
Oh, did they get rid of it?
I don't think
they
you
got
can
rid of it.
use aero bars at any lifetime race. I'm pretty sure. Not 100% confident in that.
Lutzen's a lifetime race.
No,
Okay.
we're talking Grand Prix races.
Yeah, Grand Prix.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
That's what I'm saying. Races like Lutzen and a lot of the races I do, like they're not going to ban it. They couldn't even enforce it.
No.
Yeah,
Well,
it
they
would be.
could just DQ people that they see doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, regardless of how you feel about it, saying that a world champion rider is stupid and
After breaking the
after
record.
breaking the record just had to be addressed in a video. So I normally try to be a lot more positive in videos, but like I cannot believe the stupidity of those comments. And I'm sorry if you were one of those people making those comments, but you were just straight up wrong and it was stupid. So yeah.
If she crashed, then they could have been right, but she didn't, and
She
she
could have
broke the
cra-
record
she
by
could have
like
crashed.
11 minutes or something crazy.
She could have crashed, got back on her bike and still broke the record.
That is true.
And you know what's funny about this? Annika, right?
Yeah, Langbad.
Guess what she did during the race?
What'd she do?
She put her hands on her fork crown and raced on her fork crown.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Dang, I
There's a
never-
bunch of photos of her all
Yeah.
over the internet doing that position. Yeah, and
didn't
if you
know what
know
the
the
previous
rules of the
record was.
UCI, please send them over because I literally spent an hour looking and I couldn't find anything that I swear there was articles about this getting banned. That's how I learned about it was I read an article that it got banned and then I've been doing it for like 8 years. I mean, it's like so silly. Let's wrap this up. Buy stuff. We appreciate everyone's support, even the people that were saying mean things about Kate Courtney. All right, y'all. Hopefully that was an interesting video. I'm expecting this to be a little bit of a wild comment section. Again, you can't argue with my data because Specialized also did legit science behind this. So
Coming up next on the bicycle station, Aero fork fairings.
yeah, so Trey wants to 3D print some fairings and we're gonna test them.
Yeah, that'll be sick. I'm gonna make them like this long. They're gonna be like,
There's no rules.
No rules.
How long do you think we could? What would make sense? Like, do you think?
Until it hits your foot.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, you could like put them like up against your legs, so it's just full arrow. To
What
your
if
leg.
you made me like an Aero cup for my arms to go right here?
Now we're talking. I'm about to go crazy with the 3D printer.
Sweet.
Thanks for watching. See y'all later.
Bye.